Good morning, sir. This is Jitesh, and with me I have my friend Akshay. We are doing this CIA where we are supposed to interview an entrepreneur. So, for our interview today, we have with us Mr. Rohn, who is an entrepreneur and is also a really good friend of mine. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning.
So, Ron, it's really nice to have you here. So can you please start off by briefly telling us about yourself and the business that you have going here?
As you all know, as I think Jitesh and Akshay has mentioned, my name is Ron, and I started off as an entrepreneur with a cake shop. I think I started off with a small business as a small hobby of mine, basically, and then slowly expanding it into a business into multiple locations today. I think. Yeah, I think that's more about me.
Yeah. So Ron, when did you know that you wanted to actually become an entrepreneur?
I think the first time that I ever felt that I want to be an entrepreneur is when I probably saw a movie, or I think it is one of those movies. I think it goes by the name of The Burnt, and it was shot by Bradley Cooper. I think that sort of inspired me to start my own business, and I think start my own cake shop and cater to number of people around me, and slowly starting up and expanding into many locations. I think yes, that was the time that I realized that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I think yeah.
Uh, so Ron, how did you get the first idea for your business?
I think, like I said before, I think the first time that I ever felt that I want to be an entrepreneur is through that movie called The Burnt by Bradley Cooper. I think the way he expresses how he expresses his passion towards being a chef, and how he's trying to cater to the number of people around him, and how he manages that business around him, talking to their customers, and I think kind of understanding what are their needs and then catering to them accordingly, and also how to manage each and every person in your, in your company or in your shop, basically. And I think that movie has been a real important part of. I think it's been a real inspiration for me to become an entrepreneur, basically. And I think as the quote goes, like you never work a day if you really enjoy what you're doing. I think that quote is certainly something uh, that I've always been looking up to since my very childhood, and feel I feel that that is I think that was one of the reasons why I wanted to be an entrepreneur ever since my childhood.
Yeah, so Ron, we know that entrepreneurs are generally known for their amazing daily habits, right? So can you tell us about some of your daily habits?
uh, I think the first thing that I do waking up every day is probably going for a jog in the morning or hitting the gym, basically. And I think after that I would probably be reading a book, or kind of researching about what I need to do, or I think how do I go about the business forward. And I think that includes one of my uh, daily habits every day. Apart from that, I think planning for the day is one of the important part of my daily routine. And yeah, that's probably it.
Oh, wonderful, Ron. What do you enjoy most about being an entrepreneur and being in this industry?
I think the most
Challenging part.
the most interesting part about being an entrepreneur is about meeting new people, and sharing your story, as well as listening to many more stories, and how you can kind of be a part of each of their stories and each of their memories is one great and interesting part about being an entrepreneur. And each one of them, for example, in the business that I am in, that is the cake industry, I think it is one of the most memorable thing that everyone has, like having a piece of cake or having a piece of pastry, and or a sweet probably could, I think the taste of it, or just the thought of it could probably give you nostalgia. I think that is one of the most interesting part, and I think that is what I think in every single industry there is something like that. Yeah, I think that's about it, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we all know that an entrepreneur goes through various different challenges, especially during the initial stages. So, how about you tell us some of your major challenges you faced?
Uh, the major challenge about being an entrepreneur is if your basics are not right in managing a business or managing people, in that case is one of the thing that could be very challenging to each one of us. And yep, I think people management and managing your staff and managing I think management as a whole, itself is a whole challenge. Talking to your staff and talking, I think, planning about. I think, for example, if one of your chef is off for the day, how are you going to manage the rest of the day? How are you going to prepare your menu for the rest of the day? I think that that part of how you can kind of um, get someone else to work, or how you can manage that menu for the day with a different chef or probably through different sources. I think that is one of the most challenging part about being an entrepreneur, about how to manage your risk and how to uh, go about for the rest of the day. Yeah.
Okay. So, Ron, what plans do you have for your business's future?
I think the thing that has been sitting in my mind is about expanding more. Obviously, I think every entrepreneur's dream is to just keep on expanding, probably go international or go, I think, expand it to many other places, and be a part of many more stories and many more memories. I think that is one of the interesting part about being an entrepreneur, and I think that's what I would uh, probably look into uh, in the coming days. And
Yeah, so
yeah,
Ron, is there anything you wish that you did differently as you started out?
uh, I think the one of the things that I feel that I should have done differently is probably uh, kind of researching more about the business and kind of understanding who your competitors are, and how do you I think how do you kind of analyze the market before kind of getting into the business. I think that is one of the most important part about being an entrepreneur, to understand what is your neighborhood, what is that kind of what are the kind of people that you're catering to, and what are the kind of people that you're serving your pastries, or how the crowd is. And I think that is one of the things that I feel that I should have done differently, and kind of understanding your market before starting. And also another thing that I feel that I should have done differently is probably start small and then expand. I think that is one of the uh, thing that most entrepreneurs do. They start with a huge idea, and they try to expand first and then slowly, uh, I think, try to expand more, but that never happens usually. And yeah, start. I think the thing that I would like to do is start small and then slowly expand. Yeah.
So, Ron, what advice would you give to someone just starting a business? Someone like
I
a
think
student fresh out of college.
yeah. I feel that every business student or every single student who's pursuing I think, pursuing a degree or their studies in business would at some point of time felt that they need to start their own company or start their own business for that sake. And I think as I said earlier, I think starting small and then later on expanding is one of the greatest things that you need to keep in mind. And also, like I said before, uh, I think, uh, uh, like I said before, about doing your research properly and trying to understand that business and trying to understand your audience for that business is kind of very important. And yeah, apart from that, I would say I think you need to collaborate and try to include a lot more people into your business. So that is where your success lies. And I feel also you need to start digitally as of today, probably because of the COVID scene. And I think there are not many people that go out today, and most of them are probably scared to go out. And think the thing that you need as an entrepreneur, whatever you start, you need to think about how you're going to start your business digitally as well. How are you going to cater that? How are you going to cater your online customers, and how are you going to convert those online customers to your offline customers? That is a very important thing that every budding entrepreneur needs to keep in their mind. And also spending online. So every single entrepreneur also need to keep about how are they going to. They also need to have a strategy about their digital presence. So how are they going to go about expanding their business digitally? So uh, doing, I mean, your marketing plan or your marketing strategy for expanding digitally is one of the most important part about uh, being an entrepreneur. And I think in the coming years as well, it is one of the most important thing that we, as we all know, because everything is going digitally. And how are you going to integrate some technology into your business? So that is what every entrepreneur needs to think about here on forward. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
so
Rohn, for joining us on such a short notice. It was great to have you with us. Thank you so much for your wonderful insights on being an entrepreneur and how your journey has been throughout these years. Thank you so much. Thank you, Akshay.
Thank you,
thank
Jitesh and
you.
Akshay. I think it's been a pleasure for me to.